Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and this morning I'm looking at a book from Jordan Publications. It's actually in the form of journals which all come together eventually into a book, but the actual individual journals are the ones I'm talking about today, so it's more of a journal review than a book review, but you can see it's cited, it's got a citation at the top. This one is 2014 IFL, International Family Law, then it's pages 1 to 76. That's how it's cited. You can see what the publication looks like from the front cover. It's got newsline and features on the front, and then on the back you've got again briefings. Those are the three main areas. This is a paperback. Inside you can see how it's actually structured. That tells you all about who the editors are, very substantial number of people. Then that's, if you like, the contents page. Then you go in, launch into the publication itself, bit of advertising as well. That's the newsline bit, which you can see there. Then we go into what are called, again, newsline is all the very much up-to-date stuff that's taking place. Then we have features. You can see it there. These are actually articles which are extremely useful both for practice and academically, and of course they are very much involved in international matters. Again, you can see a standard article there. Then we go from that to briefing materials, which again is very useful. It's actually briefings are on the side for that. You can actually see it's mentioned there along the side there. And again, this is talking about civil partnership as marriage, for instance. Again, it's a very big international issue. Then after briefings, we get on to what are called case updates. And these are the new cases that have come in from the European Court of Human Rights, for instance. You can see what we've got there. And then after that, you've got a very useful set of book reviews. I'll just put it up that way so you can see for recent books that have come in, normally written by, the reviews are written by leading commentators in the field. You've got an idea there of what's in it. And then we get the international websites, which I have found particularly interesting because I can't keep up to date with the number of websites that are around, so this is actually very helpful. And funnily enough, it's actually a much bigger, more detailed section than I was expecting. Then at the back you've got, again you see it goes on for some way, then you've got a diary section which sets out what's actually available. And this particular journal that I've got, which will be then put together as a book at the end, this particular journal actually deals with things that are happening at the beginning of 2014. Then right at the back, if you are interested, it tells you how to submit material and who the contacts are, and it gives you a house style of what you should be expecting. This is Jordan Publishing, and the imprint is Family Law, which is on the side there. Now, my wife Elizabeth and I have written a review of this journal, and because I have seen it before, as I have with other journals that Jordan's have produced, including the Child and Family Law Quarterly, we've given it the following title: A Compact Journal for Everyday Academic and Practitioner Use in International Family Law Matters. Now, as you appreciate, this is an area which is very emotive and very difficult for some people, and of course the jurisdiction is very wide. But this is what we say for any or those involved in any aspect of family law at an international level. The International Family Law Journal, the IFL, this thing here, is a must for its content and clarity and its depth and its scrutiny of a complex world where matters are often conducted so differently and with so much at stake for our clients in many matters. And of course that is the problem itself, because it is such a wide, diverse area. The journal contains an unrivalled source of news, of comment, including articles and case law authorities, which I've shown, which illustrate the development affecting international family law practice as a whole. It also goes into the deeper issues concerning both the rationale and the jurisprudence of existing law. And it's particularly proud of its reputation as a conduit for reform, which can best go forward when practitioners and academics learn and communicate with each other. And that, of course, is the idea of getting information and exchanging it. The journals is actually in both a print form and available online. Now, the online service, which I can't show you because of the way that this presentation is being done, is however particularly helpful. You've got the standard introduction into the website, and then you have your password and everything else, then you get in. It's very helpful today for the savvy web user, although we recognise that some readers will have initial difficulties with the navigation of various sites until they become more familiar with it as the user. The general view, I think, these days is that to get some practice in using the actual site and its specific sections, with all those little sub-areas that you've got, is well available and very helpful to try out right at the beginning. It's rather like getting to know the most recent handheld phone you might have just purchased, as they're all different and you have to get used to them. And it's the same with the online service. It's, as I say, it's the same basically with the journal's online approach, but you'll get there quite quickly with a good understanding of what the online system actually offers. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect, and frankly you have to accept the computer's here to stay. We'll have to see how it develops in the courtroom setting, but I certainly find it very helpful for much more general advice. There's a word of warning, of course. Don't expect too much initially, because we've all found that some practitioners may assume erroneously that the online side of the publication will offer you everything. Well, it doesn't actually do that, because it's not necessarily the case. Whilst what Jordans are offering is a brilliant step forward, as online facilities have become more commonplace in, say, chambers, in the courts and for ADR, many will find the print journal equally useful, of course. So one doesn't necessarily have to cancel one out with the other, although I think some people have assumed you would do. And quite often, of course, you may want to photocopy parts of an article if you're relying on it as an authority in court or for a skeleton or something like that. We've found both the online and the print versions great in their own ways for specific tasks, and that's what we need the International Family Law Journal for. So what's in the journal? Each issue contains the following: latest news and developments, topical articles and expert commentary, most recent case law authorities here and abroad, jurisdictional briefings with expert summaries, updates from Resolution and Resolution's International Committee, and 4 issues per year to keep you as up to date as possible. Looking at the journals itself, the sections are headed as follows: Newsline, features, briefing. You see that on the front, Newsline, features there, and then on the back you've got briefings. And then at the back of it, as I've shown, you've got the case law updates, book reviews, international websites, and a diary. And then if you want to write anything for Jordans, as I say, there's a note on submissions on the inside back cover. It is the case, I think, that all legal journals, including the vast majority now fortunately available online, that for the legal profession here and abroad, it's entering a new phase in the way we do our business. The issues remain as complex and emotional as ever, of course, but we have a new facility to use, and that's computer services. It's taken quite an effort for the judiciary to overhaul the way we do our business, and many still have great issue with the court service, which, to be fair, has not had the benefit of capital computer expenditure to change the methods used to administer the court system. However, change is on the way, as I say, massive change in fact, in terms of the judicial and parliamentary agendas and the approach that we're going to be adopting as we get to the halfway stage of this decade and beyond. We feel that the services that Jordan's online subscriptions are offering, and the availability of the e-PDF format for this, of course it's a benefit to many people, obviously linked very much to their other publications, reflects how the legal systems are changing across the globe as we, as practitioners, come to grips with the not so new technology as it now is, so that we can win through, we think, and give our clients the best service possible in the 21st century from these well-designed legal services. Now, I've said quite a lot about that, but if you just have another look at it, you can see again, this is the paperback version, of course, you can see what's in it. You've got very useful, persuasive authorities here in the articles, and what I didn't show at the beginning is all the people involved in this publication, because you start off with the consultant editor, who's Sir Matthew Thorpe, and then the general editor, Elizabeth Walsh, both of whom are mentioned there. But you've got a very large number of people involved in this publication, and as I say, it's something that's very important, and I certainly wouldn't be without it in terms of the overseas jurisdiction that we have. It's also useful to know of its existence, and the fact that you don't just need to have the print version, you've now got an online services version. And there's one reason why I think it could be of help. Quite often I'll be getting cases coming into chambers quite late in the evening. I'm not going to be able to get to the library, but I've got the online service which I can use at any time. That, of course, is a great time saver. Anyway, thank you to all concerned for this journal and the other journals. I like the print version, but I also like the online services as well, as they develop. I'm sure we're going to get much more of this. We'll have the PDFs at the moment, which are in an e-format, but we'll probably have what I'm doing at the moment, which will be some sort of video articles in future, which will make it even easier for us. Just a thought, but thank you to all concerned. Bye-bye.